To go alongside the release of my latest sewing pattern, today's video will show you how to make the accompanying shoulder strap. This is an adjustable length strap with lobster clip ends so that you can attach it to different bags and mix and match colours. You barely need any materials for it, and it's a great way to use up scrap fabrics from other projects. If you have purchased any of my bag sewing patterns, you'll be aware that I usually use a ready-bought shoulder strap rather than making one. My latest sewing pattern is the camera bag seen here. If you're interested in buying this or any of the other bag patterns, please follow the link below to my store and check them out. Doing so helps support my channel, and I can buy supplies to produce more content, so it's very much appreciated. To begin, you will need your chosen fabric. I am using a faux leather, plastic fabric here. You can use stable, non-stretch woven fabrics that are strong. Think canvas, twills and denims. Heavier weight cottons and polyesters can also be suitable, so long as you are not carrying a really heavy bag, but ensure you back them with a heavyweight fusible interfacing before proceeding. You will also need a slider to make your strap an adjustable length and 2 lobster clips. Now these are available in multiple widths and colours, metal or plastic. Both will work, just ensure that the width of your hardware matches. Measure the width of the inside of your smallest hardware. Mine will match, so I'll work with the slider. You can see here it is 1 inch wide inside. We can now calculate how wide to cut our fabric strip for our strap. You want twice the width plus half an inch. So I need to cut a fabric strip that's 2.5 inches wide. If you are working in centimetres, it's the same formula. Twice the width plus 2 centimetres. Later on, use a 1 centimetre seam allowance rather than a 1/4 inch. So cut your fabric from selvage edge to edge. Most fabrics are 54 or 60 inch wide. This will give you a good length for a shoulder strap. If you want it longer, if you're tall or a man, you can seam multiple strips together. Just make a strip at least the length you intend to wear, plus about half that distance again to adjust it. My strip in this example is 150 centimetres long. Make sure you cut away the selvage edges at either end, as they usually have holes in this section you don't want on your end strap. To form the strap, we will fold under the 2 long edges by 1/4 inch, or 1 centimetre if working in centimetres. Use a ruler and press as you slowly work your way down both edges. Now faux leather cannot handle heat, it is plastic so it will melt. So here I am just showing you the action. In reality, I finger press it over, just the same as I would with an iron, and I clip it down. It's harder when you can't press, but it is possible, so take your time. When you have the edges folded in, you can then fold it in half, aligning these sides. Again, if you compress your fabric, this is simple and quick, and you can achieve a flawless finish. If you're working with plastic, you can carry on with all them clips till you have control. Another tip, if you can't use heat, is to use glue to secure this fold on both sides. Gluing the seam down can act like a whole row of pins without leaving holes in the fabric. Once the full length is done, take this to your machine and we're going to sew up both edges with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. You can use top stitching thread for this and a contrast thread if you wish to add detail. I'm using a regular straight stitch and regular stitch length. You can add detail to your strap with the stitching. If you wished, once you have your 2 rows of edge stitching in, you could add further rows down the length, or even explore some of the decorative stitch options on your machine. What I personally enjoy about removable bag straps is that you can have a singular bag and make it match multiple outfits by just swapping the strap. You can go classic like this and it's great for a night out. Then you can swap it to a bright neon colour with glow-in-the-dark thread for a festival. These are cheap and small to store, but can make a big impact. Do exactly the same on the folded edge side second. Once you have your strap, we can look at threading it onto our hardware. Begin with your slider and identify the top from the bottom. You want your strap right side up and your slider right side up. Thread the strap over the centre bar, starting from below. Pull through about 6 centimeters of length and fold under the end by 2 centimeters. Clip to the longer side of the strap. We will sew a line of stitches here and here. This is bulky. Ensure you sew slowly and you have a needle on your machine for heavy fabrics. You may need to use a bump tool like this to begin. If you don't have one of these, use some folded up cardboard and place it behind to keep your sewing machine foot so that it remains level throughout and not tilted back. Sew in a straight line to the other side, using that bump on the opposite side if you need it again to stop the foot tilting forward. Now repeat with a second row 1 centimeter down from the first. This is just to make a stronger hold. This is now secure and cut away any loose threads you have. Next, we thread our first lobster clip onto the strap at the open end. Ensure the clip points away from your slider and go through the bottom, out the top and back towards the slider. Now thread it into the slider from the bottom over the bar and out the other side. This should feel a tight fit around here. That's good because that will give it a strong hold to keep it at the length you set it at. Just feed the length through slowly. We now have our adjustable part. You can test that and confirm it works as you need. Check you have the right side facing outwards. Once happy, we attach the final lobster clip to the end. Check your strap goes in the top and out the bottom. Feed through 6 centimeters and fold under 2 centimeters. This is just like we did at the beginning. Again, before you take this to your machine to sew, just confirm you have the directions correct. You want the folded part under on the reverse side of the strap. Follow that line from clip to clip to be sure. Sew with the 2 lines, or I'll show you an alternative method of a square here. Start lowering your needle into your line of stitching on the far side and go across to the other line of stitching. Leave your needle down and pivot when you hit your row of stitches and turn. Follow the stitch line down 2 centimeters and then pivot again to return to the first side. A square of stitches has less ends to cut, and as you overlap, you'll effectively tying off at the end so it's more secure. However, with very bulky fabrics like this, sometimes it can be hard to retrieve the control to do this without a bit of practice. So there is your adjustable shoulder strap. You can attach it to your chosen bag easily like so. Again, the sewing pattern to make this bag is in the link below, and that comes with a full video tutorial and illustrated instructions. Plus there is a few other bags on my channel and store for you to try. Please hit like and subscribe to support the channel and stay notified of more sewing tutorials like this in the future. Happy sewing!